What up, y'all? Appreciate you showing up, hanging out, listening to my dumb ass. Like and subscribe. So, I wanted to talk about Jim Ryan for a second and his unique way of doing business. Okay, let me step that back a little bit. I don't think it's unique, but you know, there have been plenty of lizard businessmen out there, and he's one of them. He's uncouth. He's a beast. I mean, you're only a beast if you succeed in being victorious in your battles. If you're kind of devious and, you know, you're a go-getter, but you fail all the time, what does that make you, right? Now, I'm not saying he's been failing. I will say that he has been applying a very specific way of doing business. Excuse me. And it's it's part of the whole landscape of capitalism. There's plenty of CEOs and businessmen out there, lawyers, whatever, people of power who act like him, who believe this is the way you get stuff done. And that's cool, that's fine, you know, and some people don't care. Some people just want the products. Some people do care and boycott, you know, stay away from people like that. Whatever, you know. Will he ever be canceled? Not really, because he has too much money and power. And someone with a lot of money and power could truly never be canceled. Just look at Elon Musk, you know. Anyway, so my thing with him is with his counter offer that he gave to Phil Spencer. Phil Spencer said, and this was before they offered the 10 years. This was the 5-year deal. Everything, we get all the Call of Duties, you get all the future Call of Duties, you're getting all the stuff, you're gonna get it. Call of Duty is all yours. There's parity and everything. I think they said parity, but I'm not sure. I think Jim Ryan might have said parity. And that's a very important distinction. We'll get to that. Now, that wasn't adequate. That's why he said that. Because Jim Ryan is arrogant. He's an arrogant bastard. And he feels that because PlayStation is the market leader, that they can dictate the terms of any type of negotiation. And I would say he's wrong, because the people with the money dictate. The people with the cash rule the world. Cash rules everything around us. You know, Wu-Tang said it best. Jim Ryan thinks that because PlayStation's #1 based off of unit sales, or nothing else, that they can dictate the terms. Now, I can see where he can have this delusion, because Bobby Kotick fed into that by forcing Microsoft to pay more. They basically, it's racketeering, basically. They forced them to pay the 80-20 split instead of the regular 7-30 split to keep Call of Duty on Xbox. Now, the thing about that is Microsoft has the money to pay it. They don't want to pay it, but they have the money to pay it. They can pay it, and Activision knew this. Now, Jim Ryan doesn't realize that Microsoft could say, you know what, Jim Ryan, you're not doing what you need to do to get the best version of Call of Duty on your PlayStation 6. So guess what? You're getting a PlayStation 5 version, and I hope it's backwards compatible. I don't know. You better figure that out, buddy. That's what's going to happen based off of what he said, Jim Ryan. And so there's nothing that Jim Ryan can actually do to stop Microsoft, because they have the money. The money that they would lose if they don't put Call of Duty on PlayStation 6 or whatever, or if they lose a number of sales or whatever, it doesn't matter, because they're gonna make that 70%, I'm gonna say 70%. They're gonna make that 70% everywhere else. They're gonna make 100% on their platform, 70 on, Steam or whatever else. And whatever few numbers they sell on PlayStation, they'll make that. And then they'll make it up even more because there's gonna be a little bit of a migration for people to go to Xbox because they realize, I don't know if they all realize, but some people will realize that, Xbox is actually more powerful. PlayStation has been paying for parity, meaning you get a worse version than you would have had on the Xbox Series X because of parity, meaning it has to be equal to the weaker PlayStation 5 version. You see where that parity clause comes in? It's not just about features and missions and all that stuff. It's about resolution, it's about performance, it's all that. And what Sony wants to do is hinder the market, hinder the possibility of having the best version on console because their console isn't powerful enough. It makes sense, and it's like evil business, or I don't know what you would call it, dubious. It makes me not want to F with Sony, specifically PlayStation, specifically Jim Ryan. Now, if they get somebody else in there who turns the ship around, says, yeah, we're not doing that no more, we're gonna be fair, we're gonna be we're for the gamers or whatever, this time for real, do the thing that Phil Spencer did with Xbox when Don Matrick left. And Don Matrick wasn't even as bad as Jim Ryan. Don Matrick was just, he just didn't know how to speak to fans. He's very similar, but not as evil. So the arrogance that Jim Ryan has, I didn't even get to it yet. He wanted, with the inadequate terms, with his terms, what he wanted all of Bethesda's games, meaning Starfield, Elder Scrolls 6, all these games that he knows are going to be exclusive to Xbox. He wants them as well as part of this deal. And I'm like, wait, what? How? Huh? Wait, we're offering you 10 years of this thing that we're buying. We already did that. That's gone and done. Okay, so here's the thing, right? If Xbox says, okay, you want to play that? Okay. Spider-Man, Wolverine, God of War, Horizon Forbidden, all your games on Xbox, let's go. They won't do that. Microsoft could put that out there, and then they could say, well, we put in a counter offer, and their counter to our counter was inadequate, so I guess y'all are getting the PlayStation 5 version of Call of Duty on PlayStation 6. That's it, that's all. See you later. Peace. Look, this is part of business, but it's telling because you realize businesses are run by human beings. They're not run by AI or automated or anything like that. And people can say, oh, well, that's how business works. No, that's not how business works. That's how humans deal with each other when they're in charge. Now, if you have an asshole as a CEO, he's gonna be an asshole that you have to do business with, okay? So, I'm not saying Jim Ryan's an arsehole or an ice hole. I'm just saying that he's a little crybaby. He feels he's deserved of certain things. Maybe he's classist. I don't know. But I do know that his counter was ridiculous. His counter was, it wasn't inadequate. It was just ridiculous. It was a crazy person's asking for the world when they have literally no leverage. Because they, like I said, they think their leverage is the amount of consoles that they sold, but that's not what Microsoft doesn't care about that. So they say, yeah, so we got all these consoles. Like, yeah, okay. I mean, we're trying to get on PC. I don't know if you know, we're trying to get on mobile. You see how much Call of Duty mobile makes? It destroys everything by like tenfold. So if this deal goes through, honestly, I mean, the PlayStation version does do about twice as much, which is, it's kind of obvious or telling because of the actual unit numbers, but it does about twice as much as far as units sold and as far as congruent players or players. And so I'm sure they've done the math, and it doesn't make sense for them to not put it on, but they will put it on to the best of their ability. And so it's up to Sony if they want to screw over their customers and give them an inferior version. You know, and I hope people realize that. I hope Xbox says this out loud and says, yo, we didn't get a dev kit, so you guys are getting the hot garbage trash PS4 5 version instead of the PS6 version, sorry. And this is going to continue until we get the dev version, which will be years into, so you might not get a PS6 version of Call of Duty for a long time. Years, maybe three games in, you might get an actual PS6 version. Who knows? I don't know. But anyway, I appreciate y'all hanging out. Let me know, like, subscribe. Let me know in the comments, do you think Jim Ryan's out of his mind? Do you think it was fair for him to ask for all of Bethesda's games just for Microsoft to put Call of Duty on PlayStation? It doesn't make any sense. I'm saying out loud the words and it doesn't make sense. So yeah, okay. So yeah, that's all I got. And I appreciate y'all once again. And I'll see you on the next one. Till the wait.